Today is 22 of February. Okay, if you remember, we talked about the printer. We didn't have enough time to do some experience in the servers. Good afternoon, Ayush. Good afternoon. Thanks for participating. Two things. First of all, we want to review a little bit about the weekly quizzes. I don't know you have time to do that one or not. Why it's important for us to you have practiced these weekly quizzes? Because the material is connected to these weekly quizzes. If you didn't do any practicing, you didn't remember this material, maybe you could pass the course, maybe you didn't have any problem, but you need to do this knowledge checkers part. Okay. We talked about the active directory. I remember from the students that was with me last semester, they know about the groups domains. Unfortunately, I see some of the students has some problem with the, what is the difference between the administrator and other part of the administration. We have account operators, and if you see in the lab that we have done, we have different kind of groups and roles for each users. The student asked me to share with us the questions that we have it, because we have the question pool, and the questions was not the same for everybody. If we want to practice, we must practice one by one the questions, the pool. Some of you, for example, the question, which tool should you use to manage users and group on a member server? Then you have the member server, you have local users and groups, okay? But it's possible to have the active directory users and component too. It depends on which direction you are looking to the managing of the system. If you want to install the software on the servers, you need to have at least permission to install. The default setting, I never asked you to remember the default setting because you have in front of you your virtual machines and you know how to work with that one, with some kind of searching people. We talked about let me share my desktop. If you remember, we talked about the printers. Do you remember we talked about hopefully you can see my screen. Let me make it bigger. Okay. We talked about the printers. Okay. Yeah. Today I have a good internet. Thanks God. It's not possible to get disconnected. We talked about the different kind of jobs that we are doing on the printer. We can send the printer and we can have the administrator of your printer server, somebody that is managing this printer, is letting who's sending first the spooling, and they can disconnect or delete the printing orders that is coming. But there is possibility you have more than one printer for one queue, and you can add the printer inside of your system. We talked about, at home, we make the printer directly connected to the computer by the wireless or by the wire network card, whatever we have. But for the large companies, the printers are shared through one server. We select which server you want to have as a server for printing, and we connect the printer to the server, and every sending print goes to the server first. Then from the server, they make a decision, okay, how we want to print. sometimes they make a decision to cancel the print. You know, the benefit of that is what? You know, this happened a lot. Somebody is working with a large file, is pressing Control P, print all of the 3,000 papers, and we didn't want to have that one. Okay, without a printer server, the user print directly. Sometimes the queue is not enough. For example, if the was so big file, the printer server helps us to have bigger queue and manage the system. Okay, we talked about this part. We talked about the network and how the network can save for us the data, but the best way is having the printer server manager in you know, as a members that we have it and manage all the printing. Now, the printer processor is possible. We are doing it in the graphical part. We all now working with the graphical, but for the servers, it's possible they work with the, you know, it didn't have any graphical part, it being in the some kind of things, and you manage them from the other server. The way that we can manage a server that has not any graphical is PowerShell, CMD, and we can manage them remotely. You know, we can get connected through the system that we install. You remember we install administrator tools and we manage the server core machine from another server. The printer spooler service, what it's doing it looks like a part, you know, you need to have enough space in your hard drive because it takes space from your hard drive. And they pulled all the task that is coming, they put it in the queue, and then whenever the first request comes, or you know, printer says that I'm ready, the first in the queue will go for the print. They have ability to keep it for a long term, not like the printer. And print providers works with the printer processor, and they have some RAM inside of your printer. You can see that, but they're helping them to format and to use the right data type. Print monitor pool help us to see that, okay, is it the, for example, this print must be goes on this kind of paper or not? Because most of the printer has different tray, we can manage and say that, okay, I want to use a special kind of paper. These nowadays, you know, for small companies, this is not important. You have on USB, it goes and print, and this is not important. But for the large companies, then they're selling, and 1 minute is important. Installing and configuring this document service is important for them. Okay, and we add these roles inside of our system. You can, when you are installing and adding server printer, you have 4 parts under that one, and you can use it as an internet printing. Internet printing is the things that we are using it right now at home. We have it with the IP. You can type your IP address of your printer. If your printer has network card, it takes one IP address. You have the IP address and you can get connected to the printer. When you are going to installing the printer and document service, you will see 4 parts under the printer server. You know, we install the printer server, but we add some parts additional inside of that. And when we open the printer management tool, you can add more printer in the queues, or you can deploy the printer inside of the system. If you take the property of your printer, or you want to have network printer installation wizard is coming up, you can install a new driver, or you can add it through the existing port that you have it. It depends on how it's getting connected. Because we are working now online, we want to see the detail in the virtual machines. Today I want to show you installing 2, 3 printer. We didn't need, you know, how the printers are working. The A+ certifications, they learn how to printers they are working. They have different kind of printers. Uh, we have laser printer, color printer. We have some old fashioned of the printers. They works with the dot matrix printers. But the things that is important for us is installing new printers for the managing inside of our servers. We are focusing on the configuring printers for the servers, not for maintenance or something like that. We can share and manage the ports and go for the colors, for example, in what level of the color they want to print, the security and device setting can be managed through our system. Now, we share the printer, normally for the printer, when you're adding the printer, you didn't need, for the um, labs that we are doing it. It didn't need to be really any printer connected to the system. You can add the printer and leave the test page and everything for testing for the future. We are some kind of virtualization the situation for the printing with our virtual machine. But the sharing tab has some parts that you can manage it. Okay, I have shared this printer or I want to have a list in the directory or how you want to share this printer. These are the things that we are, as a system administrator, must make it, decision. Which port and how we want to have this printer inside of our server. Then we have printer pooling and for example, if two prints comes at the same time, printer make a decision. Okay, I will keep one and send first. The first one is coming normally first in first goes, and a single printer make it easier when you have 100 user and working with one printer. They will have lots of coming and going system. It takes. Uh, 10 hours for managing if one person wants to manage them. But the computer do it so fast. They make a decision so fast and they send the print automatically to the printer. The printer property, there is some add-ons tab that we can, for example, if I wanted just this print between the special time, for example, from 12 a.m. I want to start and the priority, we put for one group some priority and we make it cooler, immediately, or we want to have start printing after last page is pulled. We want to first make sure that all the pages are comes and then start to print. We choose the spool printing document, or you can hold the mismatch document, print the spooler document first. This is the in hands of the system administrator. Never do that keep the printed document inside of system because it makes so heavy temp of the system get full and your server will get damaged. Now, if you have some printer, okay, and you want to see that the quality of the print, okay, or you want to have see the default data type that we have. Because if we have different tray for the paper, we can switch between different kinds of, papers. For example, we have roll paper or we have uh, different, print processor that we have using for the this system. The printer property security tab, we have some manager. You see that this is important. We have some managed documents or we have some special permission for them. If you have just print and you have allowed to print, you can't go and cancel or whatever you have it. Your user can connect to the share printer, send the print, okay? But they can just manage their own print. They cannot touch any other's printer. For example, if my colleague send a print and she wants to cancel, I cannot do that if I want not as a print manager permission. If I have just permission for print, I can just manage my own print. I can delete, cancel my own print. I can't manage or cancel the printers that coming from the other user. But managing these printers needs some permission too. Is it related to the NTFS permission? No. These are completely separate. Printer property for the color management is in hands of the server manager, printer manager. Members, they can manage it. Okay, I want to have different kind of paper, different kind of color setting, and you know that RGB, red, green, blue setting is in hands of the servers. If you see that the setting is not good, the server administrator can come and change the setting for them, or the DPI for the quality of the print. The things we didn't talk about, that one is PowerShell command. We know that add printer is the command that we use it from the PowerShell. But did we just use the add printer and just put the name? Because there is some parameters. For example, we want to share that printer, or you want to put some, for example, driver name. Normally they have a special driver for each printer, have their own printer. For example, here you have HP Color LaserJet 5550 PS cluster. Okay, they have their own printer. If you go to the internet, the large companies, for example, HP, Canon, or different kind of printer that they are well-known printers, Xerox or whatever, they have their driver on their website. Normally, when you buy the printer, they have the uh, detail inside of them. But if you want to share the printer with the command, can I do? Yes. Put the name, and for example, if you want to do the TCP port or whatever you want, you can put the printer host address, and you put the address that you want. Okay. Uh, First of all, let to just give you one hint, because if I share something, how we can get communicate with them through the network? We just bring up one server, and we didn't have time to talk about them. The server that we installed one domain controller, and it was on. I don't know what is going on. Okay, and we have some other, for example, we have the server core machine. Sorry. How we can, make it mute? We can say that there is lots of benefit for using this kind of, uh, you know, print sharing on our system. We cannot say that there is just one benefit, just we are sending by one port, or just we can manage. We can monitor, we can see that if one printer is not working, the jobs goes to the next printer. These are lots of print benefit that we have it, at the same time, we can use different printers that are online. For example, if I have three printers, if the one of them has problem, you can forward all the queues from one printer to the another printer without telling the users, and users can have access to the printers. Okay. Uh, I don't know where is the other art. Do you have any question about this part? Is it clear? Now going back to the virtual machines, talk about the permissions and printer. Okay, this week we have a lab for the system. You remember we installed one domain controller. If you remember, we put one domain controller and we add the Active Directory there. Yeah, I prefer to use the LAN segment. Why? Because the LAN segment is more secure. I didn't send any packet to my network and I didn't take any updates. Okay. If I add one printer here, for example, if I go here and type the control and go to the control panel and I'm going for the device and printer. You see? Then, no, we work on this part in last class or not. Okay. Uh, if you remember, we put the IP address, the fixed IP address for our server. We didn't use the HCP yet. We have 10.0.110. If I want to check that, the old-fashioned is set back 10.0.100.10, I will check that what is shared here, printer code plus ST200. And if I go to the join users, for example, this is another computer is joined to the same domain controller. And imagine this is not inside of this region, it's in the other side. You can go there. You must ping them. The IP address must be in the same range. Without pinging, you cannot have access to them. Oh my god, my number is not on time. Okay. You see, I can send print, and if I double click on the printer, what will happen? You see that this is laserjet, color, whatever. The driver could be add, shared, and add to the system. But if your driver was not shared, because I didn't have any driver for that, and I didn't share that, they maybe is not set in the good way. Okay, can I send the print from here? This is the other option. Yeah, you can go and print the test page. You see that for testing printer out, the first thing that we are doing is print the test page. In the preference, you can see if I were printer administrator, I can see the details. See that is fully, and you will see that this is error printing because it's not connected and cancel the printer. Now, the lab that we have it for this part is working on these three machines that we have. Okay, first of all, let I open one part. I wanted to show you something. When you have the direct printer, you have the user, the print goes directly to the printer. The link is inside of your uh, PowerPoint. Okay, but when you are sending through the computer, I'm connecting and I send the print from the computer. The possibility to have monitor, for example, I could see that how many jobs is printing to the printer. I can make a static report that how many people are working or how they are working, what kind of paper they are using it, or they watch the print queue. Okay, but when you are having the printer server, the server can make a decision. Okay, if it's suitable for this printer or this printer or this printer, they can manage the system easier and in the better. Now, lab that we are going to do, I'm trying to do it so slow. Okay, the things that I didn't talk, this remain from the last class. We talked about the different kind of groups. The same for the printer. When you want to have access, you need to have seen the printer. Okay. For the domain local user, you have the ability to have been member of the same domain or member from another domain in the same forest or member from a trusted external domain. But when you have the global group or universal group, they cannot go to the external trusted external domain cannot come inside. Okay, this is the difference between these three types that we have. We have domain local, global, and universal. Okay. Um, Now for the printers, right now I'm going back to the printer part. The lab that we are going to do is lab 4. Okay, and there is possibility you build some file folder to have the printer before you start and you work with the system. You want to create a directory structure on the server core, for the server core, how we can do that one. You can go remotely and get connect to them, or you can go directly to them and by the uh, command prompt or PowerShell or whatever you have it, you can make this folder. Okay. Mm. Okay. What's the benefit of building something in the system? First of all, let me I show you. I'm going back to my server core. Is not on yet. I'm sorry. Okay. I'm going to the server that I was, okay, and I wanted to write something on the machine. First of all, because I'm administrator, can I see completely the C drive? How we can see, if you put C dollar, you will see the C drive of the other machine. We said that this is the sharing for the admin. Can I do the same thing for the server core? Yes. Let the server core come, they need to be up, log in, and get authenticated to the server. That's it. When they are seeing each other, you can manage it from the other machine. It's not needed directly. You go and with everything. Let me if it comes. Okay. Yeah. How we go to the PowerShell? You can type the PowerShell. Okay. And can I see it to the in the other side? Yes, you can see it in the other side. Let me I just show you how. See, just the different, the PS is coming in the front, IP config. Okay, you see the IP is this one. I'm going back to here. See, I wanted to build some folder. I will put, okay. Because I'm administrator and I didn't share anything on that machine, I will not see any folder. But can I see the sharing of this that one? Yes. And you can build a folder from here, yes, because you are administrator. Okay, as an administrator you can build the data folder. Okay, this is one way. The other way is going to the command prompt and make it from there. Let me I go there and you see, if I go cd backslash and I put dir, I will see the data folder is here, cd data. Can I make the directory here? Yes, you can make the directory here. Um, I will make all of them in the small letter to have not any problem. You see that you can build, for example, a make directory HR. Okay. Okay. Let's check it with the other machine that can see that one. You see. because it's not shared, we cannot see that one. But if I put C dollar, I can see the data and I can see two folders that are. Can I build one folder from here? Yes, you can build. Is it any different? No. Okay. Marketing. Okay. Now it's asking you to put one file inside of the. If you remember, we have copy now. And the file one txt inside of the sales because we want to put it inside of the sales. Okay, we are in the data folder, sales folder, and we put one file, name file one. Okay. Okay. Now, why I catched this error? Because I didn't put complete for address. You can put it C colon data at the absolute value, or you can put it why is taking okay, copy is not correct. Copy. Why I put it in here? Okay, copy not. Where did I put it? Okay, because I'm inside of the PowerShell. Okay, that's good. And this is the command prompt folder. Okay. Can I exit from the PowerShell? Yes. Okay. Can I load the things that I typed there? No. Okay. You must go and see the data cell. Okay, here. Copy and file one dot txt. Okay. Type something. Test. Okay. And control C. Okay. They have the file here. Now, what is the lab ask us? Why I'm building something here? Because the lab asks you to create the following directory in the server core using command prompt. There is no different. I can't come to your computer and say that you must just use the command prompt. No, you can use whatever you want. When you are using the 3/F, you can take a screenshot here. Slash 3 slash f. The slash f shows you the file that you have it under the file. Now, ouch, sorry. Okay. Now, can we check it here too? Yes, you can come in the other side and see your file is here. Where was the lab code? Okay. Now, create the following directory structure on the server one. See that? And using any method you wish. Okay, you want to have home directory and you want to put some folders under the home directory. Okay, why we want to have something for the sharing? First of all, I go back to my server one, this one, or going to my PC here on the C drive. You see that I have joined to the domain. My firewall is off, and the name is server one dash mst 200. If you check your IP address, the DNS must be the IP address of the domain. Without DNS setting, it will not work. Okay, I put you can put it something that you have it in your sheet, that you have it inside of your first lab. Okay, server one dash mst 200. Way I can see the detail or map the network. Why we map the profile? If I have, for example, Mariam, she's working in my company. She's using different computer. I want whenever she is looking, have the same desktop and document folder. She didn't go for finding the computer from one place to another place. You must carry USB. If you have virus, you can carry it from one place to another. We didn't want to do that one, you know. There is possibility to see that I server one MSC 200. Okay, if I put enter, you see that I didn't share anything in my uh, computer. Okay, we want to build the profile folder on the server one. Server one is not the domain controller. You see that from here is not the domain controller. The domain controller is on the server two, and we want to build this folder here to make the fixed profile here. You send home directory or home dir. You can put whatever you need to put the name. The name is not important. You can dir. Okay. And under them, you can build the folders that you have. Can I do it in the command prompt? Yes. Can I do it in the yes? Whatever. You feel good with that one, you can do. Okay. We want to have different folders shared with it for each user that is coming. For example, I want to rename that one and put it here, or you can type that, whatever. Um, or you can go to the command prompt and type it with each other. It's faster. Yeah. Normally, with a dir, you will see that we have cd directory, make directory, and I will put all of them after this. Okay, we just made one, and we want to have uh, the problem, VB problem. You remember we have this name. I'm not sure I can paste here. Okay. Oh, why is typing? But if you type is better. Okay. And you see that if I type the dir, you will see I will build two directory at the same time. Okay, it's possible to do it with a different way. Okay, and I want to have next one. Yes, uh, and the other one M3. Uh, ready? Paste. Enter. Now, if I type 3, you will see I have these 5 under. Now, what I wanted to do, it was to setting the share on the NTFS. Okay. Why we want to share them? Because each user, whenever he log in, he wants to have map their all the profile in this folder. Okay. Share the permission for the NTFS permission. You know, we have sharing tab for and security tab. Okay, NTFS permission. Um, there is possibility to have admin center. You see that here it said that we are starting from the remote administrator tool on your admin client machine and share the data folder on your server core. Okay, is it clear? So everyone have the full control. Now, I must turn off one of my machines because I didn't want to have that problem. Then I'm turning off my server. Then I'm going to turn on this one. You see, on the server core, we have this folder. Can we share it directly from the command prompt? Yes, necessary you can share from the command too, but the lab wants you to share the data folder from the admin client machine. Okay, we have the admin client if you remember, and if there is possibility to manage it from the system manager. Yes, computer manager, where we can see the managing system. If you go for the tools, I don't know what is this really tools. See, we have the computer manager, and yeah, okay. Yeah. You see that your computer manager when it's coming up, you can see the sharing folders. Okay, you see that you have share folders, and you can see the shares by default. All the computers when you are joining to the domain, the C is share as admin. And sharing name is C dollar. You see that the ones is dollar is just accessible for the admin. You see admin dollar, C dollar, IP spec for the dollar, and the print is dollar. You see that? And the sysvol and netlogon is open for everybody. You see? The ones has not that dollar sign in the front, it means that you can. But can I go for the option? You see that clear data? Yes, you can go for connecting to the other machine. You can see right click, connect to another computer, and you have browse. If you have been joined all the machine to the same, you can find now and open the other machine if it comes. You see that here I have the server core here, and you can double click here and go for the server core and manage the server core from here. You see that? You have the storage tools, you have disk management, or you have add whatever you want. Okay. I didn't want you to get confused. Let's follow the structure, and um, I will come back to the system that we have. There I was. Now, for the lab, we must to do from the remote administrator tools and use the admin center. Okay. Let my system. This is the machine and it's off. Uh, I didn't like it to make it big. Um, Hopefully you can see it. I'm coming to your question. I see. Okay, you see that you have the Windows Admin Center here, or you can go for the administrator tools. And you see that you have the Active Directory Administrative Centers, or you can double click on that one. If it takes time, don't worry, because it depends on your RAM. Mine is working fine now. Finally, okay. See, in here, you can see this is the local. You can push it and go for the other part. You see that here you have the computers. If I go for the computers and double click on the computers that I wanted to manage, okay? See here, if I double click, I can see the details of the computer that I'm having the connection. You see that you have task in the top. And you can move, disable, enable, whatever you want to do with the system. If you scroll it down, you have some authentication policy. You know, you can enable or disable them. For example, I didn't want to have security extension or whatever you want. You can use, there is no rule. I can say that you just must use this. You cannot use the backslash and go and share it from here. You can type the IP address that we have it, or you can type the name. Okay, both of them it's possible. You can see I can access to them with the different, way. For example, here. Can I share it from here? Yes, you can share it. You right click here on the data folder and you can go for the property. Okay. And in the security part, you can share it, unshare it, whatever you want. Okay. Now, because lab asks us to do in this way, and I'm going for the Windows Admin Center. Both of them, it depends on your security part of it. I want to more than 10 times. Don't do that. The things I have done. Click just one time. Okay. Um, yes, Ayush, you can add the printer without existing anything. Oh, really? What happened? Yeah, you can add the printer without it was connected to the machine. Okay. And there is possibility to use the add the printer from the PowerShell or whatever, and it was not connected to the system. Okay. Yeah. If you want to follow that one, you can do. This is the decision that we are making. Nobody can tell you, no, you can't do that one. I don't know where is the others. Okay, let's continue. In the lab, you can see here, um, it said that remove the administrator tools, admin client, whatever you use, there is no change. But you can go for the file and storage you have disk. You can double click on the server that you have it, okay, and you can share here some of and if I go from here to computer manager, okay, what will happen? This is the uh, server code, okay. You have the share folder here. Can I add here anything? Yes, you can right click and share whatever you want, okay, because you have the under the share You see, you have just see and think. You can right click, type new share, okay, and click next. Now, because this is server core, okay, you can put the path and you can browse from them. When you browsing from that part and you want to just share the data, okay, and you click next, okay. The description, for example, you want to share this data, normally good server administrator write some explanation why they are sharing these folder, okay, and the path will be SCMSD200 because it's the part of the domain is msd200a.com. If you put it under that one, for example, this is lab 4. I will put it lab, okay, and you can click next. Here you see that all user read only, because the lab asks you to go and put the, yeah, very good. It asking you to put the data folder on your server core, everyone full control, okay? And you see that administrator have full control, other user have not. You can put the customs, okay? And you have seen that everyone full control. And you click OK, and you click finish. What will happen now if I go in the browser and type the name or IP address and 13, I can see the data folder now is shared. I'll explain it again. There's possibilities to explain 10 times, okay? This is the way we are sharing on the server core machine, one folder without having any graphics, okay? Now, the next part of the lab, um, computer, you want to you share we done that part. Possible method is explained that you can do with the other method here. But we change NTFS permission on the sale folder. The sales folder is essential. We didn't want everybody come have access to the sales folder. We want to have that folder only sales have full control permission over the sales folder. Okay. Now, he said that one way to do this remotely by using the Windows Explorer from server 1 or admin client, explore, and you can type the server core Seneca ID and you put the $C, and it's explaining the $C means that share for the administrator. Uh, change the NTFS permission for the file 1. Okay, we have here, we have the data folder. Can we change it from here? No. See, if you are doing it, the security from here, sometimes you catch the error. It's possible to go for the security. You see that I have administrator, I have all the users here in the security part of the system, okay? And we have NTFS setting and we have the security setting here. You see, we have, if you go for the details, you see that when I build this, we're doing that. And we have some explanation. You can make the change in different way for this part, okay? Why we want to do that one? We want to just the sales representatives has access to that one. If I give the access for the sales or all the things a full access, you see that it's having something like this. But if I change the permission here, are the heritage, that once we make a deny has more privilege, and when we have some security part, if I go for the edit and add, for example, here, and go for the add once, we go for the find, and find just we want to have the sales representatives. I don't know, we build the sales folder here. So, sales. We have the sales file. In the system, we didn't have any, or if, for example, click OK, and you give that part, you give this range full access, and for the all user, you remove the permission that we want. You see that I can't remove the administrator. By default, they are in them. But because I'm using it by the browser, is different from the things that we can use it from the admin center. Okay. The change NTFS permission for the C data file 1 has read access and Fred. Okay. Now we want to manage the users. Okay. For example, we want one have just read access. Okay. Going back. Property. You have put that one. You want to have just read. You see that in the edit? You can just give them read, or you didn't want to have full control. Okay, you just give them read. You see that if I uncheck their read, their write, you can give them read and execute. Okay, or you can uncheck them. You can deny them. Okay, we didn't want they can write on that them, just read. You give them full access, but you give some permission in the other side. You can do it in different way too. Yeah. Can I remove that one completely and add it again? Yes, you can do that one. The editation is in your hands. You can click on that and then completely click remove. Okay. And to add them again, go add once. I'm sorry, I don't know why they send me. And I click OK. You can see I could just read and read execute, apply, and OK. But what about the user? If I wanted to add the user here, what will happen? You can go add and go to the advanced, find the username. If you go for the find now, because it explained that we want to a special user have not permission to have these things. You see that, Fred? I don't know if I have this user inside of my system. Okay, how we can find them? If you type F, you see that I have this user here. Okay, and I want this one has denied to read. You see that uncheck the thing, or you can check mark deny. Okay, because it mentioned that we didn't want that one would deny to access, and you can deny all of them. Yeah. The default setting of for the permission, this is inherited from the parent, okay? You may have to have disabled the inheritage from the top two. Change, why we are doing it, you put deny all the things, apply, yes, and okay. Now, for the folders that we have it, because we have folder sets, and you have in the property of that one, they have some security part. You see that in the general tab, you see in the advanced, if you see, they have some setting. We never do the encryption here because we want to work with the sharing folders here. And we have some security part, okay? And we have custom system, whatever you want, you can do it. But this is on the where, this is on the server core, okay? How we can test now the things that we done is works or not? We can go and log in with that user, Fred, whatever, and check that. Let me check the user can have access to that one or not. Yeah, if you want to find that one, you can go to the find. You can click on your domain. Okay, you have the ability to set the filter or find something. You see, for example, show all the objects, or you want to have custom object inside of one. Because I know that I add this thread here. See that this is the user that I have it, and the username. You see that if I click on the account, I have the user login name. You see that f dot whatever is the name, and the password hopefully is the same as the things that because if I didn't change that one, that's good. And we can go and check, okay, is it the ones that we are using it or not? You see that we have it, and you see the domain is there. If I make it bigger for you, that this is the name that we can check. Okay, I built this user. Can this user have access to this file or not? Because, you know, we share that one. Okay. This is server. We never log in with the, when you have Active Directory, you can log in with the user inside of the Active Directory. Okay, please try it for your own and test and see that you can. If I go for the Windows 10, I'm in the admin. So if I go for the other user and type f dot okay, passport. Uh, okay, I didn't remember what I put. Okay, maybe we must check the password. I'm going back to the server. The users on computer. Set the password. Did I set the password? Put laptop here. www. Okay. So that's the platform. Oh, okay. I remember I changed the password last time and bring it down. We must put it 2 times. Ah, it has no complexity. No. That would be. Okay. Finally, I log in with that one. You see, I didn't have any profile for this user. Whenever I log in, Windows builds some folder inside of my Windows. It takes place, takes allocation, some space in the systems that we waste of our, system. The user, the thread comes here, log into that machine, log into the next machine, and they build these folders on each hardware that we didn't need. If you see in the C drive under the users, I have the folder in his name and it has desktop all this material. It takes space. We didn't want to have it. Now we want to check this user have access to what. Okay. If I type 10, my number 10, 0, 100, this is the data that it was shared because shared for all is accessible for him. it has the set. It could see the file to see that it shows that the permission is denied. You have not the permission to read. Hopefully it's clear. Before we do that part, we must explain that why we are doing it. You know, in large companies, sometimes they have some confidential material. They didn't want to be accessible for everybody. They use these settings to make it some kind of secure or more, some kind of accessible for each one. We didn't put all the material in access of everybody. Okay. Uh, the NTFS sharing, yeah, the NTFS permission on the marketing folder. So your marketing has full control permission for read only permission. Okay, he wants to have for the marketing just read only. Why I'm doing it so slow? Because the student told me you are doing it so fast. I don't know how can I do it slower than that. I will look up from here because I didn't want to go straight to account. Okay. This is some kind of practicing, We put some permission for each part. We do one for the sales, for the marketing, and HR. Because each one has their own permission to them. You see that here I have connecting to the server that is connecting. I'm showing you from admin Windows Admin Center too. Okay. Uh, the things that we have it here, you see, because I put the two server at the same time. And I don't know. Let us go back to the part that we was here because these are open. It didn't let me go for other part too. At the same time, you cannot do for both connection, especially with my slow computer. I can't do that. You see, I have the server here, and you can right click or you can make movement. You can go for the property or whatever you have it. If I go for the property of them, I will see something if it comes. Details that we have it. You have the policy, delegation, or whatever you have. Can I do this setting just on the command prompt? Yes, you can do it on the command prompt too. If I go up, let's see here, and you see on the C drive or the share folder, for example, if I go for the property of the share folder, I can see there is some setting or some security part for the system. You have some permission that you can select it. By default, everyone has full control for the part of your local hard. Okay, this is my local hard. The things we are talking now is about one computer in the other side. We are talking about the sharing of that one to happen. Okay, we talked about this part. Okay, we talked about the marketing and HR. Um, what else I want to talk about? Figure for you. Okay. Now, this is admin client. If I went to server, okay, here this is the server that we was working on it. Can I close this part, please? and we are in the this you have the ability to manage them. See that the Windows activation is showing me not activation. After 180 days, it will gone. Okay, don't think that you can save this machine for uh, long term. No, you must know about them. Okay, and if I double click here, you see from the task, you can have some tasks for them. You see, you can manage them, or you can go for the disks and add the disk. Can I add the iSCSI to the machine that is not connected to this? Yes, you can add the iSCSI, but I want to first compare the disk that we are using for this machine, because if you remember, I choose less than normal, but you can add more. Yes, you can. If you have not enough space on your server, you can add the disk to your machines. Yeah, you can go for the volume and you add the new volume inside of your uh, servers that you have it. Okay. But now, what we are doing it for this part of the lab, we just share for each group a special parts that we needed. We didn't need to have, for example, sales group has access to the file of the other groups. Okay. Um, uh, yeah. How I can come here? You can close the comment again. You can close and go back to your server manager. Let me close everything. You can go for your server manager. Okay. This is server 2000. You can go for your server manager. You see that the server manager, double click on your uh, server manager. You have the file and storage that will come up. Here you see that I have file and storage service. Okay. And I have the um, server that I was, added before to this machine. I add the server core machine to uh, file management platform for here. You have some tasks from the top here. You can add and remove the feature that you want. Because I'm in the file and storage part, you have the ability to share. You see that the shares, and in the shares, you can see, for example, for this machine, I have just data, okay? And this is the sharing. Just for the share, we comes to here, okay? You can build another share here. You can build a new share from here. Task. Mm, mm. If I wanted to share another thing, yes, you can share another one. SMB, quick, we shared from that part. Can I share another folder? Yes, you can share. But you must first build the folder. Why it asking you to first build the folder, then come for this? Because if you didn't have any folder, you cannot share it from here. You see, if I go for here and I selecting, you need to have, for example, type a custom pad, or you need to have some material for the sharing the path that you want to share. Okay. Uh, because I'm administrator, I can uh, do that one. But if I was user, I can't do any sharing on the system. If I cancel that one, because I already shared my data. Uh, if I go for the right click, you see that you can have stop sharing, open sharing, and you can see the property. Again, if I click the property, you can see I have C, assembly, and the permissions. You see that here you can see the setting. Can I add more permissions here? Yes, you can add whatever. Allow cache to the sharing, enable access-based enrollment. This is important part that we will activate it for the new generation of the system. They will cache the sharing permission by based on their enrollment, and they have this setting automatically. Okay. Now, in the part 3, you want to test the permission, and we done that part. Yeah. Part 4, we want to use the OneDrive to share file. Okay. Now, if you want to use the OneDrive, you need to be access to the browser. You can't use uh, the local machine. Okay. Um, you must go to the portal.office365.com and you must log in with your Seneca ID and you open your OneDrive. I cancel this and go back to the data, marketing, property. You can remove the user here, okay? But you must add first something because this is the marketing. We was finding the marketing group, okay? We have marketing. We have marketing FC and marketing read, okay? For the marketing part, we put the marketing FC have the full control and marketing read just read only. Then you see that I will put it the full control for the marketing FC and add marketing read because we have marketing read. Okay, we just give them read control. Okay, we didn't give them the right. Okay. We can't remove it by this part. Okay, apply it. Now, for the stage we done for the HR, we must have full control permission. Yeah, we can export and import the permission for the NTFS. Okay. For the HR or for the property. The advantage of this NTFS permission is they affect the local user as well as you have the network user. Both of them will have this setting. Oops. I don't know why my system is shutting down. Okay, let's uh, stop the sharing. Yeah. Do you have any question? Is it clear?